Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and this is the channel where we explain it so you don't have to. Pet Sematary has just seen worldwide release, and the movie stands as one of the best Stephen King adaptations ever put to film. The movie is packed with gruesome moments, shocking twists, and an atmosphere that feels like it was ripped straight out of your worst nightmare. One of the most unnerving aspects of the film is the creature that haunts the titular grounds, known simply as the Wendigo. Throughout this video, I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know about the monster and how it plays into other King works. From here on out, it's full spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen Pet Sematary yet, then you may want to skip this video for now. With that out the way, I hope you enjoy the breakdown, and let's get into everything that you need to know about the Wendigo. Okay, so firstly, whilst we never see the Wendigo in Pet Sematary, there is definitely hints towards its existence, ranging from shadows in the dark, its nerve-tingling howl, the movement of the overgrowth in the area, and the fact that it is a large presence in Ludlow's folklore. The natives of the town knew that the creature roamed the lands, and in the film it's said that they tried to keep all from entering the area that it inhabits by building a large wall that is difficult to scale. Lewis Creed, the main protagonist of the film, though never encountering the creature directly, almost comes face to face with it in the woods when trekking to the ancient burial grounds, and it's definitely evident that something roams the area. So why exactly does it do this? Well, in Pet Sematary, the Wendigo roams the land in order to control all life there that dies after it has become deceased. The Wendigo has the ability to reanimate bodies and send them back to the living. Unfortunately, reanimation by the Wendigo causes psychosis and the corruption of the soul, and this is why those brought back in the film ultimately end up attempting to harm and kill those around them. The Wendigo is said to have placed a curse on the land in Pet Sematary, and this is why it is able to do this. Similar to Pennywise in It, the Wendigo just wants to harvest the townfolk and will do whatever it can in order to continue its supply of bodies to the land. The reanimated corpses tend to live for roughly 10 years and then die again, which is why a constant supply is needed. This is why it lets those pass through its land, and why Lewis is never harmed by the creature when treading in its territory. The Wendigo knows that one by one Lewis will bring family members up to be reanimated there, and that they will kill upon their return, which will force him to go back to the land and repeat the cycle. The Wendigo too is said to have the ability to possess people, and due to its connection to the spirit world, it is able to find intimate details about those around the host it takes over. This can be seen in the film when Ellie taunts Judd about the death of his wife, and in the original novelization of the work, Timmy Bateman, one of the first people to come back to life due to the grounds, also taunts those around him. The Wendigo is a master manipulator and operates from the shadows, much like the place it chooses to hide in the film. It's able to coerce the townfolk and fill them with doubt, guilt, and insecurities as it slowly drives them to feed its land with more bodies. This is why Victor appears so much in the film after Lewis fails to save him. Victor has no supernatural abilities himself, but the Wendigo is using the death to taunt Lewis, and this is why he has visions of the sacred land before ever even visiting there. So where does the Wendigo come from exactly? Well, in Native American culture, the Wendigo is a mythical evil spirit that is a byproduct of the United States and Canadian landscape. Though it takes on the appearance of a monster, it is too able to appear in human form, though eventually if this is prolonged, the person appears more and more monstrous as time goes on. Historically, the Wendigo is associated with our animalistic side, and it represents giving into our deepest and darkest desires with things like murder, greed, and culturally taboo behaviours. Whilst the creature is predominantly dealt with in legend, in real life there is also such a thing known as Wendigo Psychosis. This is a medical diagnosis for people in indigenous communities taking on a craving to eat flesh. So how else does the Wendigo play into King's work? Well, along with Pet Sematary, the Wendigo has also featured in The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. In that, a girl named Trish McFarlane becomes separated from her family when hiking with them, and after becoming lost has several breakdowns. The Wendigo stalks her with the intent to take her as its next victim. Throughout the woods it leaves warning signs and omens that lead her down certain paths before eventually appearing as people from her life in order to coerce her. The Wendigo appears as the prophet of God of the lost and states that all who resist the Wendigo are met with death, which helps it to persuade Trish as she falls deeper into the forest. Eventually Trish makes it out of the woods, but the Wendigo appears as a bear and attacks her. Luckily she is saved by hunters who shoot at the creature, and it retreats to the forest to wait for more victims. Whilst it hasn't reappeared in King's work since, it's safe to say that it's never too far away, and I can definitely see this book being adapted due to the success of Pet Sematary. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Wendigo and Pet Sematary. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it and leave your thoughts on the movie in the comments below. If you'd like a more in-depth breakdown of Pet Sematary, then make sure you check out my ending explained analysis of the film, which will be linked at the end. This is a channel for people who are mad into movies, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.